3, 2, 1. Thunderbirds are go.
Hello and welcome to the next Thunderbird 2 video, where of course we're going to be building a pod vehicle and look at more Thunderbird 2 parts. As always, last week was a little different, obviously, because I looked at the launch pad. If you haven't caught that, go over and check out my penultimate launch pad video. The final launch pad video will be embedded with the final proper Thunderbirds 2 video all together in one big finale video in about a month's time. That's all. 4 videos left, including this one. Just 4 videos. Madness. Really excited to get it done now. So hope you'll join me for this final Thunderbird 2 month. Now, I changed up the order a little bit. I'm recording this audio again because I want to explain that I say last week a lot in this video, when of course I mean 2 weeks time, because I put in the launchpad video. So ignore me when I say last week, I meant 2 weeks ago. I'm not gone crazy. I'm just doing things in a slightly different order. So to start off with then, let's look at the pod vehicle that we're building at this week. Okay, so we're continuing with the Cobra half truck this time. Last week I called it the Cobra truck. The official name is Cobra half truck, which is a bit bizarre considering what I was talking about last week on the size of it. It is anything but half, in my opinion. It's going to be huge. Yeah, this is what we did last week. We attached the chassis and then put a canopy over the top. And the first thing we're going to do this week is get this part here with these 3 circles and this T mark. We then get this slightly darker grey part. If I don't drop it, let's say it's got, as you can see, it's got the same T mark on it, so we just push that together. Oh lordy. You know that game Shapes as a kid where you have to put the, oh no. Yep, I was good at it. I was good at it as a kid. That's what I was going to say. Just attach it with some glue to make sure it doesn't come out, although it is quite secure. I'm pretty sure that it won't. We then get this part here, which is, as you can see, it's got 3 holes, and those 3 holes match up with those 3 holes there, like that, I believe. So it will sit on there like that. Is that right? Must be. Just double checking, or does it go in there like that? Oh, okay. Goes in like that. There we go. That looks a bit better. So we kind of got this. Oh, it is painted black. There's black part in there. That part we just attached there. And then these 3 pegs sticking out of these holes, which just glue in place. Like that. Very cool indeed. And then we have something which I've never seen before. We haven't seen before with pod vehicles. And that is an axle. A front axle. Usually the wheels just have, as you know, a metal pipe. And you put the wheels on. But no, this one has a full-on front axle, which just slots in there like that, and then we attach it all into these 2 pegs there, and these 2 holes there, to this part, which is the main body of the truck. And I know I keep going on about the size, but this thing's huge. Okay, right, so let's glue these peg, this peg, this peg and this peg. Just put glue on the outside here and there for good look, and then we just pop this down here, and all the parts need to be flush, which they're not at the moment at all. There we go. So just push that in there like that, and there's the under part of the Cobra half truck. And you see you've got this here. Oh, it's got words there. Anasta Expedition. Really small writing. Oh, on the other side as well. And it's got this nice, detailing of the yellow, and the yellow for the headlights, which is very cool. So yeah, that part is now in place. And then on the axle, you get wheels. Massive wheels. And you just pop the wheels on there like that. Oh. And then we get the hubcap. just push that on there. And it is bizarre doing this without a metal pole. Do these glue on, these hubcaps? Do they push on? They don't seem very secure. Not very secure at all. Let me just check the instructions and zoom out a bit so you can see. No, not meant to glue them on. Which I guess is obvious, really, isn't it? But, they don't seem the most... Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, that's not good. Do you know it's been over 50 years since Thunderbirds hit our screens? That's over 50 years of explosions, launches and FABs.
FAB!
It also means 50 years of Jerry Anderson's other shows like Captain Scarlet, Stingray and Joe 90. And if you're looking for some memorabilia and collectibles from these shows, then the Jerry Anderson official store is the place for you. One item in particular that may be of interest to you is... the 50th anniversary edition of the Thunderbirds Agent's Technical Manual by Haynes. Now I actually picked up my copy recently from the Jerry Anderson store and it is gorgeous. It has details of all the Thunderbird craft, Tracy Island herself, which is pretty awesome, and of course all the pod vehicles, including this week's pod vehicle, the Cobra half truck. And in reading the manual I realised I've been talking about the wrong Cobra half truck all this time. I've been talking about the one from The Uninvited, when it's actually this one we're building, the one that Brains and Tintin took out to the desert. So if I had picked this up earlier I would have realised that and not made a mistake, so I recommend you go pick this up so that all your Thunderbird knowledge is up to date and you can impress people that want to listen, maybe if they've got a YouTube channel and they probably should have done their research. But yeah, don't be like me, pick up your Agent's Technical Manual plus more from the Jerry Anderson official store. Following the links down below will help out the channel as well, which would be greatly appreciated, so what are you waiting for? Go over to the Jerry Anderson official store today. Hello and welcome back, and as you can see I have now fixed the wheel, glued it back together, and I have glued the hubcaps on. It is slightly out, as you can see here, the wheels are not fully pushed against it, but it's hardly noticeable and the wheels do still spin. So disaster averted once again, but I will be more careful in putting the rest of the pieces onto this half truck. And for those of you who skipped the adverts, bad, shame on you. You know, this is not the half truck that I thought it was. It's not from The Uninvited, it's from Desperate Intruder, and it is Brains and Tintin's half truck. So just to complete this half truck then, we just get back the piece that we did last week and make sure that the trailer part is sticking out. As you can see, it does have caravans attached. Caravans don't come in this model though, obviously. And then we just get some glue on these pins here. And just, no, they're not hollow, so let's put some glue in the holes as well. And then we just push these plugs into those holes gently, but till it goes in there like that. And finally all the wheels are on the half truck and it is quite solid, and it doesn't matter whether it is the wrong half truck that I've been saying or the new one, it is still huge. It is still very big. Okay, now let's start decking this out with all its extra stuff, and we'll start by putting that aside and bringing in this piece here, which is the dashboard, very tiny dashboard. You can see it's got a hole here. That hole, oops, knife just fell on the floor. Have you heard that bump? Yeah, the hole is for this steering wheel, so that just pushes in there like that. It is quite secure, but to make it super secure I am just going to put a small amount of glue on there like that, just to hold it in place. Okay, and then what you need to do is bring back the truck and put the dashboard into those two holes there. So let's just put glue on the pegs, on there and on there, flip it around, push that in there like that. Fits in very nicely, only a slight gap but that's okay. Yeah, looks pretty good. Of course, the drivers will need something to sit on. So this is the next piece. It's just painted red. It's not red plastic, it is grey plastic painted red, but the seats just go in next. In there, like that. A nice bright red, stark contrast to the rest of the truck. And behind the seats, we put in this part here, which is nicely quilted with some air conditioning unit, I imagine, for those long journeys in the desert. So a bit of glue on the tabs and it goes into those two holes there. Just like that. There we go. So the interior is coming along nicely. But of course, if there is an accident, then you need a roll cage. And it is really nicely detailed. It's got this nice mesh feel. A feel and look to it, which is gorgeous. Now be careful in attaching glue to see-through parts once again, because you don't want them to get frosted up. So I'm putting the glue in the holes this time rather than on the pegs, and then just pushing that down there. Don't think it's that way around. Let's try this way around. It's not seemingly wanting to go in. Okay, that was fiddly, but I finally managed to get it in. I really thought we had our first badly designed parts, but no. You really have to push in this black part all the way down. Obviously, I was hesitant to pushing after what happened with the wheels, but let me just zoom out a bit. But yeah, you really have to push that black part in so that the roll bar actually fits horizontally like that. So a little bit of force is required, not too much. And then you've got the roll cage in there like that. This front is looking a little bit weird, so let's attach some headlights. They're not full circles, these headlights. They are half moon, as you can see. So you know which way around they go. Just push them in there like that. Much better, look at that. Lovely. Yeah, I really like the colour scheme now we're adding the red. Very nice indeed. And to protect them from the sand, we need obviously a windscreen. Now we're getting into a smaller hole territory here. So just a tiny bit of glue in and around those holes. Bring in the windscreen. And bunk in there like that. Hopefully that doesn't get frosted up at the bottom. I don't think it will. I think it went okay, which is very cool. Now I'm a bit worried adding these rear view mirrors, side mirrors here, because again of that the glue so close to the cockpit windscreen. In fact, yeah, oops. I know that the windscreen has just been knocked down, but that's fine because I'm just going to install these really quite badly designed rear view side mirrors, because they're looking directly at the driver and passenger. Unless they're not side mirrors. Searchlight. Oh, I've got them the wrong way around. They're searchlights, they're extra lights. They're not mirrors. Oh, it's a good job I noticed that before they set. I'm doing this all off camera. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Just having a bit of issue here with these staying securely in. I think I might just have to wait for the glue to set on them. I'm really scared about pushing them down. It's so stupid. Because I just don't want anything to break again. Okay. Okay, yeah, that will set nicely in place there. Great, cool, awesome. Okay, so the next part we're going to do requires these blocks here, and we're going to attach some canvases to them. So I guess this is all the brains and tintin. As you can see, we've got a hole there with a slight little cutout there and a hole there as well. And you know what's happening, just a bit of glue on and around the peg. Good dunk. And a bit of glue on and around the peg. Dunk. Like that. And then of course we've got these connecting parts there and this connecting part there, and they go at the side of the truck there. So glue. That's a lot of glue. That was a stupid amount of glue. Oops. Okay, that's alright. One on there. And then glue for this side as well. We're starting to take shape now. The next part, we'll fill up these tiny holes here. They're little extra bars, extra protection bars, roll bars, whatever you want to call them. So a bit of glue on the ends. They just go in the holes. Like so. And the same on this side. Glue, glue. And the holes. Gently like that. There we go. So we've got extra bar detailing there, which is pretty cool. We then need to get to this part, which is the canvas. And of course, just gluing the pegs, gluing the pegs, gluing the pegs. And we want the back to look like this and the front to be open. No, we don't. Other way around, sorry. The back is this. So that wall there. Let's make sure that it fits in all the pegs. There we go. And it goes in there like that. Now that really adds quite a bit. And it's nice. You can see all the storage and it's really dark in there. So yeah, that's really cool design. Very nice indeed. Now there's just two more final things to do, and that is just add these water and food pouches here. As you can see, they've got a unique design to them as well. So we can just push them in the hole there, one like that, and the other one like that. There we go. They've probably got petrol in or gas or anything like that as well. Whoops. And I dropped it, but it is all done. The Cobra half truck is done. Now, sizing. It is not in scale. It is not in scale at all. This is Alan's racing car. And as you can see, I zoomed out too far. Oops, other way. So a Thunderbird sized person is meant to fit there with that wheel. The seat's just too big. In fact, they're both red seats, so you can see quite clearly the size difference. This Cobra half truck is not to scale, which is such a shame. And it's the first time they've dropped the ball on this. Yeah, it's the size. It's bigger than one of the elevator cars. It doesn't make any sense. So while it's a nice addition to have, it's not to scale, and I really don't know why. I really don't know why. But that's okay, you know, it's the first mess up and we're coming near the end, and it's not an essential pod vehicle, but it looks great. It's just not to scale, so I don't think I'll be displaying it with the other pod vehicles, which is a shame because it is so nice and it's clean and it's nicely painted like all of them. It's just not to scale, which is a shame. So that is the pod vehicle done for this week. Let's look at the Thunderbird 2 parts that we're going to do, starting with the booster that we were looking at last week. Yeah, just checking that is all in right. So it's exactly the same as we did last week. It requires this mesh piece here and this back end of the booster. You just take some glue, sort out the peg. Yeah, just take some glue and just put some glue on this inner ring here. Little dots all the way around. There we go. And then we just push this mesh in place there, making sure that that hole is really visible through the middle. Just push that in to secure it while the glue takes hold. And then this one is easier because there is only one wire to go in this time. So the wire goes in and the rest of the booster comes with it. Oh, the mesh also seems to come with it. Let's just push that in so it starts to take hold. There we go. Okay, there we go. And then we just circle this part around again to make sure it all lines up, and then turn it, pull that through. There we go. That is that booster all completed. And to go along with the booster that we did last week, looks fantastic. Now, this is the part that I am really looking forward to. I'm just clearing way because we are bringing in the mothership herself, Thunderbird 2. It's been a while since we have seen her. I'm just going to push her up here like that. There we go. That's a good position because we are now going to install the boosters. So the first thing we need to do is we need to get these U parts here like that, and we just push them into these gaps there. Very simple, like that. We then get the booster with the speaker and with the light. This goes on the right hand side, so we just need to place the booster in there like that. And we want it so this hole here is facing up, because what we'll do is we'll attach this screw bracket here, and there's a little tab just there which will push into that hole, and then that will all get screwed on there like that. So that one is all pretty much lined up, and I'm just going to do the same for this one. Just get that hole there and get that one pretty much lined up, and then we're going to screw these boosters down. And there we have it. We have the boosters all installed on the back end of Thunderbird 2. So that's what we've done so far. And we've got these iconic boosters just jetting out there. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Absolutely stunning. Stunning. And they fit together really well. Oh, you can see the mesh. I was worried that you couldn't see the mesh, but you can see the mesh quite clearly, which is quite nice. Yeah, looking absolutely great. What a fantastic way to end this video. Iconic red parts going on Thunderbird 2. And next week, it's all about Thunderbird 2. It's all about the mothership herself, because there's only 3 videos left. So next week, we're looking at quite an iconic part as well. There's the thing that makes Thunderbird 2... Well, it all makes Thunderbird... I'm getting excited. Join me next week to find out what we will be building and adding to this model. We also might be replacing something around here. So hope that's teased you enough for next week. I hope you'll join me for that, and I really hope you have enjoyed this video. Until next week then, guys, take care. FAB. Bye bye. I just want to thank my patrons. Without you guys, this video would not have been possible and this channel would be dead, so thank you very much.